Hello everyone and welcome to Tathastu ICS. This is a new series in which we will be analyzing the union budget for 2024 to 25. अभी budget आ गया है, so we need to analyze it. It will be a series of around 12 videos in which we will be one by one analyzing. First, in today's video, we will analyze the theme, the focus areas. Then we will start analyzing the priority areas. Then we will discuss the tax reforms, etc. Okay, so it will be of 12 series. Every day you will be analyzing with me this year's budget, which will be important for your UPSC exam. Okay everyone, so let us start. My name is Srija Garg and I am your economy faculty. So let us begin with budget. First of all, you know that India wants to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Yani ki we want to become a developed nation. Right now we are in a developing stage. Though our economic growth is growing at a very good rate, but still that growth has to be converted into a developed nation or development, right? When I say development, I am talking about unemployment has to be reduced, poverty has to be reduced, education has to increase, healthcare facilities has to increase, nutrition has to increase. So it is not always the case if there is growth in the country, there will be development in the country. But for development, we always need growth. Okay, so now we want to become Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat means developed country by 2047. So obviously our budget will be focusing on Viksit Bharat only, है ना? उसी तरफ घूमेगा. So this is the first of all our aim, our long-term goal that we want to become a Viksit Bharat. Every expenditure, every receipt will be focused on becoming India, on making India a developed country. Now, if we talk about this year's speech by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, you will see that she used the word employment around 23 times in her speech. It means we can just, analyze that this year a lot of focus is on employment. Employment of the youth, of women, in MSMEs, etc. Right? So employment is the major, the central theme I can say of this year's budget, and we want to create job opportunities for our youth, because you know that India is also, we have a demographic dividend. We need to use the youth, right? So for that, they are getting educated, but they don't have the job opportunities. Who is responsible for it? The government is responsible for it. So we are focused on that. Okay, that is point number one. Point number two, you will see that earlier our budgets were focused on trickle down theory. When we say trickle down theory, we are actually talking about that basically somewhere or the other the welfare will actually reach the poor people. But this year's budget is actually, taking a very direct approach. So there is a shift in the approach. It's taking a very direct approach towards focusing on the poor people directly, on the women, the vulnerable sections, the middle class. Okay, so there's a shift, and this shift also happened in 16-17 when our the finance minister was Arun Jaitley. Okay, now let us talk about the four major areas first. We will be focusing on poor people, that is the Garib. We will be focusing on Mahilaएं, that is women, Yuva, that is youth, and farmers, that is Annadata. Okay, these are our four focus areas. We will be focusing on them so that they help in our development of the country. Then we have the budget theme. If I talk about the budget theme this year, we are first of all focusing on the employment. When I say employment, I am talking about the creation of employment opportunities for the country. Skilling. Skilling means basically developing the skills, the vocational training, the skill development of the existing youth, so that there is no unmatch or a gap between the skills and the job. Then we have MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, backbone of our industries. What is this? They actually, they create a lot of jobs in our economy. And especially talking about micro and small enterprises, they create around more than 11 crore jobs in the country. So they become very important for us. Okay, so if we support MSMEs, obviously the jobs will be created more and more in our economy. Okay, middle class, for the well-being of our middle class, again we will be spending money on them, helping them, support them. Okay, so let us see, this is the budget theme this year. Now, as per the finance minister's speech, you will see that about the Annadata, the finance minister said that we decided to give them 50% plus 50% above the cost margin. This basically means whatever is the cost of production of the farmers of the cultivation, 50% above that they will be earning, and this was renewed for 14 kharif crops this year. Okay, that is 2024 to 2025, so that the farmers are able to get more stable and more profitable income. Then comes our Garib. Okay, we are talking about the poor people. So we have a scheme known as Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana. This scheme came in 2020 after the COVID effect, because a lot of people were getting affected by it. So this scheme came then. It is a food security scheme, and it has been extended for an additional 5 years, and it benefits more than 80 crore people in our country by providing them 5 kgs of food grains for free. This ensures food security for the vulnerable population who gets affected the most. Okay, step to combat hunger and malnutrition in our country. It also improves overall health and well-being of the people. Now let us just quickly talk about this scheme basically. So it was launched by the government of India in April 2020. Okay, it was a response to COVID-19 pandemic, as I said, to provide financial assistance to economically weaker sections affected by the pandemic. So distribution of 5 kg of free food grains was done, along with the cash transfers to women and elderly individuals. So besides your food, you were also getting some cash to women and elderly individuals, in addition to the subsidized ration. You know that we have a public distribution system in which the government procures certain crops, and those crops are then food grains crops, and those basically food grains and everything are sold at ration shops at a very low price than the market price, right? So those are subsidized prices. So they are covered by the public distribution system under the National Food Security Act as well. Now, who can avail this? Eligibility is Antyodaya Ann Yojana families. Okay, we have priority households. They will be decided and recognized by the government, the state governments. Household headed by widows, terminally ill, aged 60 years or older, single women, men. We have marginal farmers. We have primitive tribal households, landless agricultural laborers who have no lands. We have slum dwellers. We have informal sector workers. Okay, for example, we have coolies, rickshaw pullers. They are informal sector. They don't have regular jobs. Okay, and all citizens belonging to the below poverty line families. So these are the eligibility criteria. And if we talk about this scheme, this is basically the major part is in this budget. What has happened is it is extended for an additional 5 years. Now for 5 years, the government will be providing them with more 5 kg of food grains each, besides the financial assistance and the PDS system. So obviously the expenditure of the government increases, so allocation is done here to support them. Okay. Now these were the two main things talked about in her speech. We know the focus areas as well. Now let us talk about the budget theme again. When we talk about the employment here, you know that it is addressing job creation to tackle the employment, unemployment and underemployment. What is the difference between unemployment and underemployment? When I say unemployment, it means that people are seeking jobs, okay, but they are unable to get the job. Okay, that is unemployment. When I say underemployed, it means that they are not employed at their full potential. For example, disguised unemployment. The laborers are not employed at the full potential. That is why it is known as underemployment. Okay. Then we have skilling, enhancing skills of the workforce to meet the demands of the modern industries. Because you know that now to ready the people, the youth of our country with the skills, it will help create the jobs in the modern industry also and narrow down or close the gap between the two, that is the skills and the jobs. Then we have MSMEs, okay, vital for the economic growth also, because the production helps India become self-reliant, and also for the job creation, as I told, micro and small enterprises, more than 11 crore jobs. Then we have middle class. So support to improve their economic well-being, the government is focused on that. That is the theme. We will be focusing on 4 areas. Now, Nirmala Sitharaman, our finance minister, also said that the Prime Minister's package of 5 schemes and initiatives will be announced to facilitate employment, skilling and other opportunities for the youth. So they are targeting 4.1 crore youth over a 5-year period, and a central outlay means central expenditure of 2 lakh crore for that. That is the employment generation. Okay, so 1.48 lakh crore, this for 5 years. So 1.4 lakh crore for education, employment and skilling has been allocated this year. So education will help to build knowledgeable and skilled workforce for us. employment to support job creation initiatives and programs, and if we do scaling to enhance the capabilities of the existing and upcoming workforce. So this in turn will actually help in our economic growth, because who decides the output? Who gets the output for the economy? The youth. If we invest in the education, if we invest their employment, if we invest in their skilling, we are basically turning our human resource into human capital formation, which will in return help the economic growth of the country. And this is how we are also focusing on the development of the country. Now, the focus on employment and skilling, what does this indicate? That the government's recognition of the need to prepare the workforce for the future challenges also. I am sure you must have heard that after 30 years, there was a report, after 30 years, we will be having low demographic dividend and more old age people in the country. The fertility rate is going down beyond the replacement rate. So obviously we need to prepare the youth for the future challenges as well. Okay, support for MSMEs is crucial, as these enterprises form the backbone of the economy, especially in the job creation, as I already told you. Okay, so what will be the potential outcome of this? The potential outcome would be short term. First, immediate boost in the job creation, because that is what the government is trying to do. Increased training opportunities for the people and support for the MSMEs. Okay, and the long term would be sustainable economic growth for the country, a more skilled and adaptable workforce. For if we think of the long term, obviously our youth will become more adaptable, our youth will become more skilled. Okay, and this will also enhance our global competitiveness in the global economy. Okay, so now as you know that budget priorities are basically focused on becoming a Viksit Bharat, that is the developed nation, that is by 2047. So we have 9 priority areas: productivity and resilience in agriculture first, second, employment and skilling of the people, inclusive human resource development, okay, and social justice, manufacturing and services, urban development, we have energy security, infrastructure, innovation, research and development, next generation reforms, which will be announced more in the coming year. Now, this is what you have to understand, this is the theme. So all the priority areas are basically focused on employment, skilling, middle class, and what was the third one? MSMEs. Okay, and we will be focusing more on youth, farmers, okay, on women, and the third one was focusing more on farmers, youth and women, and also we will be focusing on, yes, poor, that is the Garib people, so that to focus more on the well-being of the country, also welfare for the all, that is what the government does, right? So in this series I hope you have understood what is the focus area, what is the theme, how will what are the short term goals, potential, long term growth, also sustainable economic growth. Now tomorrow we will be discussing the first priority area, which is focus on the agriculture. Okay, so basically we will be focusing on productivity and resilience in agriculture. Okay, how will we increase the productivity and resilience as per the climate change also. So we will discuss all of this in every series, and I hope this will be helping you in UPSC, CSC, prelims and mains both. Thank you so much everyone, have a nice day.